guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to share with you guys the best and the worst of e.l.f. cosmetics. I've done a couple of these in the past, and I go through e.l.f. makeup like crazy. I feel like when I go through their website, I'm like, I literally feel like I've tried all of this. So I have some standby favorite products that I've loved for years that I've either repurchased or they've sent to me again, and I'm just like, sweet, a new one because my old one is gone. Or it's products that are newer that I am totally in love with, but I also have, of course, products that I don't like. Now, I'm gonna try not to do too many repeats of products that I don't like from e.l.f. because I've already talked about those in my past e.l.f. best and worst videos. So if you're interested in seeing some more products you might want to avoid from the company, I will link those past videos below. Other than that, I hope that you'll subscribe if you like seeing videos on affordable makeup. I do affordable makeup. I also do some higher end. I kind of do just a mix of it. So if you like that, I would love it if you would subscribe. Let's start with their brushes. I feel like e.l.f. brushes don't get enough love, and they're amazing. And really good brushes can be really hard to find, especially in the drugstore. So I have three brushes that I want to mention. One is their highlighting brush. Now what I love about this is the shape. It's one of those shapes that you can so perfectly get it where you want it, but you could also use it for other things. You could use it for like maybe a contour type thing. You could bronze with it. You could put blush on with it. It is just an amazing shape. It's really easily, I don't know, it's just so easy to use. Honestly, I have not reached for a different highlighting brush since I've had this. So it's kind of one of those things that for me tells me everything I need to know about how amazing it is. The next brush is their e.l.f. Giant Powder Brush, and I'll put the actual name of it down below. But it's just this huge, super fluffy brush. I love that it's got this clear, kind of fun handle. It's so good. You could apply powder foundation, regular powder. You could apply bronzer with it. You can apply anything you want. I've even done it with like loose powder. But it's just one of those brushes that, again, since I've owned this, I haven't reached for any other powder brush. It's just the right size. It's just the right, feel to it. It's really, really soft, and it just does a really good job. And the last brush of theirs I'm in love with right now is this e.l.f. shadow brush. And I'll put the name of it because it doesn't say it on the handle. But what I love about this, it's clearly super synthetic, which the way this is made, it feels almost like rubbery. I wouldn't usually go for this kind of a brush. However, I've been using it to put on light shadow just on my brow bone right under my brow. And I've been able to get such a crisp line with it. I love it. So I literally only use it for that reason, but I love it for that reason. All right, let's move on to face products. So one primer that I love of theirs is this moisturizing one. It's from their Beautifully Bare line, if I'm correct. And it's just super moisturizing. I like that it's smaller packaging, really simple. But if you have dry skin, this is one of those primers that it's just a white primer. It, of course, eventually is transparent as you rub it in. It's so soft. It just has kind of a nice clean smell. It does have a smell though, so if you're sensitive to smell, it might bother you, but it's just really soft. It makes your skin feel, it kind of has that silicone feel, but in a moisturizing way. A lot of silicone type primers for me do not work well with my dry skin, but this one does. And I don't even know, it doesn't have the ingredients. I'm not even sure if it has silicone in it, but it has that kind of feel. But it's moisturizing. It makes my skin look so smooth, even when my skin is super dry. And if you've watched my Snapchats lately, I've been talking about how dry my skin has been and what I've tried to kind of combat it. Anyway, but I really like this stuff. It's definitely worth it if you have dry skin. They're my favorite foundation, not just out of e.l.f.'s products, but out of all products, out of all high-end, out of all drugstore. Right now, this is my absolute favorite. It's the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. Oh my gosh. I don't know where this stuff was hiding. It's been out for a while, but I didn't try it until this year. It's got a pump, which I love. The packaging is just nice. It's like glass, really nice packaging. And I'm in the shade, by the way, Sand, which is a perfect match for my skin, although I am looking quite a bit paler. But it just blends so seamlessly into my skin. And again, it doesn't highlight any dry areas, but it also doesn't look oily. Somehow, it's this like magic potion that combats oil, but it also combats dryness, and my skin just looks like satin. It doesn't look super matte. It doesn't look super oily. Like I said, it's just perfect. And no matter what primer I put on under it, this still looks amazing. I always apply it with a brush. Honestly, I typically apply my foundation with a brush over a beauty blender. I feel like I go through trends with that, and right now I'm on a brush kick, but I love this stuff so much. If you've been looking and trying a lot of different products, it's worth giving this one a try if you have similar skin to mine. By the way, this top is from Target. It's just like a really simple long sleeve black top. They have like a striped one as well. If I can find this on their website, I'll link it below. It was so cheap, and it's exactly what I was wanting, where it's not too revealing, like it doesn't go too low, but it still has that cute, you know, kind of trendy look to it. So I'll link it below. Continuing on with face, I have some disappointing products with the face. Speaking of sponges, this is one I was disappointed with. This is I still have the box, Beautifully Precise Precision Sponge Trio. And it comes with like a small, medium, and large. And it just didn't do anything. Like, I feel like any sponge that is trying to be like a beauty blender sponge, there's something about it that never quite matches up right. The closest I found is the Real Techniques one that's like orange. That one is really, really good as well. But everything else, and I had such high hopes because e.l.f. always surprises me. But it's almost as if the core is still dense no matter how much water you get into this sucker. The rest of it will expand the way a beauty blender does, but the core doesn't. And because of that, I feel like it just, I don't know, like, it's the weirdest thing, but when I was using it, I've used it with a couple foundations, a couple concealers. No matter what I did, it looked crazy. Like, to the point where I had to reapply, and finally I said, I'm giving up, I can't do it anymore. So one of those things, I would stay away. If you're trying to find one on a budget, try the Real Techniques one. It is really, really good. e.l.f. Face, I love their contour and illuminating palette. These are a freaking bargain for the price. And on top of that, they're incredible quality. Every time I use these, I am astonished by how long it stays on, how great it applies, and how great it looks. I mean, that's like the trifecta, right? But I love the like darker contour shade here. I actually used it today, and I used it kind of more like as a bronzer. I put it there, but I also kind of bronzed up. You probably can't tell because of these lights, but I kind of bronzed up my forehead as well. They have this matte yellow powder that looks amazing at setting under eye concealer. They have this white kind of highlighty-ish color. I don't really use that one as often. And then they have a more warm-toned bronzer that would also look amazing. I just always end up going for this one. I don't know why. Looks like I'm getting close to hitting pan on the contour and on the banana colored powder. So I love, love, love this. You can pop these out and mix and match them and make your own. So I always talk about, like, if I did, I would take this one and this one out, and I would put it with, in their illuminating palette, some of these. I can't even decide which ones. So there's like a deeper, like kind of orange one. There's like a light yellowish white, a pearly champagne, a beige kind of shimmer, and then more of an orange tone. Amazing, looks amazing on different skin types depending on your tone. And I really like the beige one, just for my skin tone. It's not like bam in your face, so you probably can't even see that. But it's just this subtle glow. It reminds me of the Hourglass ambient lighting powders that I love, and I own like so many different versions of, because it makes your skin just look like it's glowing from within, literally. And it doesn't look like you're wearing a glittery highlight or anything. It's just so subtle, and I feel like all of these are subtle in that way, and that's why I love this. If you haven't tried it, oh my gosh, probably top 5 favorite. I'm wearing a lot of this on my face today, so as I'm going through, I'll tell you. Like I said, I'm wearing the contour palette today. So I have some of their blush duos. I've had all of them through the years, numerous times, but I always end up decluttering some just because maybe the shade isn't right for my paler skin tone, etc. This one is so cool. I know it's one of their newer products. It's their bronzed pink beige, and it's this like water-based cream product. And I'm not big on cream things like this, but this one impressed me to no end. It's incredibly pigmented, but it's almost like a cream to powder. So it doesn't end up like the NYX. The NYX cream blushes end up looking a little bit dewy and wet on your skin, which I don't mind, but these don't do that. These really are like a cream to powder. They're the coolest texture. I remember when I swatched it in their store, I was like, what is this texture? It was so crazy, I had to have it. So I really, really like it. It's almost as if it's a cross between a cream blush and, I want to say it's similar to like the ColourPop products, you know, where it's got that like unbelievable feel. It reminds me of a cross between that. Really, really good. Now, this pink is a little bit too pink for me. The bronzer I really like, though. That's the one I reach for more. The pink, I mean, obviously you can sheer it out, use it with the stipple brush, it's fine. But I just end up going for a lighter blush, just generally. The other one I have still is the regular powder duo in St. Lucia. And it's a lot, let me compare. It's a lot more tame than the cream one, if you notice, especially that blush color. The bronzer's not too different. But the blush color is actually what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. It's got glitter in it, but the glitter is so pretty that I don't mind it. It's kind of a golden glitter, and it just looks really nice on the skin. The bronzer is really nice too. Again, it does have some shimmer to it, but it still looks nice. It just kind of looks healthy. But if you don't like shimmer, you wouldn't like this duo. Like I said, they have a couple other duos. All of them are good. They're all really pigmented. They all stay on for a long time. You'd be very impressed. So if you found a shade or duo that you like, then it's definitely worth picking up. All right, so this is the e.l.f. loose powder in sheer. I've got to be honest, I just don't ever reach for this. I've had a couple of these. In fact, this one's not even open. I continue to declutter it only because I feel like when I use this, I don't think it's a bad powder at all. I don't want you to get that impression because it's not. I just feel like there are so many really good loose powders out there right around this same price range that you really can't go wrong, because with this kind of a powder, you know, you're not going for a super duper natural look when you're using a loose powder like this. Not that it goes on white like this, but just that you can always tell. And so I always like to use like a setting spray on top of something like this just to really be sure that it's kind of melded into my skin. So I know that e.l.f., and I don't have it in my collection anymore, they also have a smaller one of these, like an under eye loose setting powder that's pretty good too. I know that one of them has glitter in it, and I didn't personally like that, but I know a lot of people love that because it's brightening. So if you are into that, it's definitely worth checking out as well. So like I said, these aren't bad. I just don't use it because I have like literally right now like 7 loose powders, but it is a good one. One product I think is so cool is this e.l.f. HD mattifying balm. It's similar to the YSL. I actually mentioned this in a dupes video. I did a bunch of really expensive products and then really cheap drugstore dupes for them, and I will link that below because I was very proud of the dupes I found because some of them like no one had ever heard of. But this was one of them in there, and it's a dupe for the YSL product that's similar. And it's kind of this waxy, this one's really creamy though, but it's like a waxy type balm. And the idea is that you get a little bit, whether it's on a brush, sponge, your finger, whatever, and if you're oily anywhere, you can just tap it in that area and it soaks up the oil without adding any powder. And it actually does work. It's so cool if you're into not looking powdery, but maybe from time to time you look oily and you're like, gosh, I want to get rid of that, but I don't know. And maybe you're not into those, like the little papers that you can soak up the oil blotting papers, then you would like this. I think it's really cool. It does a great job as well, even not just at removing oil, but melding things together. So like I'll use this similar to their Daily Moisture Stick to like meld my under eye together from time to time. I just really like it. It's a cool, unique product that they have. So I love their Studio blushes. I actually only own one shade right now. It's Mellow Mauve, and I love this. I use it all the time. I've got like a serious dip in it now, but you almost won't even see the swatch. If you've got a skin tone similar to mine, you will love this. It's a very dusty, simple peach, but it's so beautiful, and it's one of those things I could get a ton on my brush and throw it on, and it always looks perfect. Because you can't really be too heavy-handed with it, which I actually like. I know a lot of people like super pigmented blushes. I actually would prefer if they were like a little less, so then I can just go crazy and I won't look like a clown. That's more because I'm lazy and I don't want to like take the time to make sure it's perfectly placed. I just want to like slap it on and go. But I love their blushes, any of them, so find a shade you know would look good on you and you will love it. But I really like Mellow Mauve for my skin tone. All right, so I've got 2 highlighting products of theirs that are kind of duds. And I say kind of because one of these is their e.l.f., well duh, it's e.l.f. Their like baked highlighting powder and blush gems. People rave about this on YouTube. And so I was excited to get my hands on it. And I feel like I got a dud. Like because it's baked, it's hard to get much on. And so even when I'm putting it on with my brush, like I'm like, what? Like it never looks like I'm wearing much. And for something like this, people say it's similar to MAC Soft and Gentle. MAC, let me go grab it. It's totally different. So people say it's similar to MAC Soft and Gentle. Let me show you MAC Soft and Gentle. Oh my gosh, MAC Soft and Gentle is amazing. It's this like crazy, shimmery, beautiful highlight, but it's one of those things, it's not a natural highlight. So if you're going for that, you're not gonna get it with this. So people compare it, and I swear I'll see their swatches and I'm like, oh yeah, they are so similar. They're a similar shade, but this I cannot get to like apply much at all. And I have a baked bronzer of theirs in Los Cabos that I was so excited about, but it's the same thing. Like I can't get like anything, like there's a little bit. So it's not, I guess I shouldn't say I can't get anything, but it's not quite what I envisioned when everyone was raving about these. So I don't know if I got dud batches where, you know, maybe there are good batches and bad, but it was really frustrating and I was so sad because so many people rave about them. I don't know. like if I saw these in the store, I would pass on them just because they're beautiful looking, but if there's a chance you could get a bad batch or whatever, then it's not really worth the gamble, I don't think. Another one that is kind of unique for e.l.f., not unique, but it's their little like, little balls. I don't know what else to call them, the name's not on it, but it's like their highlighting ones. And again, this is it comes with a little poof. I think less, I don't think it's necessarily to use it with it, although now I kind of want to see if I can. It's less to use with, I think it's more just to keep them in there when you put the lid back on. But I think it's so cool to have a drugstore option to this because the other option is like the Guerlain ones that are like crazy expensive. But I've had those in the past too, and I ended up getting rid of those as well because I just felt like it really, I like subtle things, but it was too subtle. And this one, it's very similar, very, very subtle. So I feel like I rarely reach for these. I don't think they're bad. I think they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do, but it's definitely for a subtle glow. So I do still like it though, but I usually use it on like really simple, low-key days. Let's talk about eyes, because I'm wearing some of this stuff on my eyes today. I'm wearing their smudge pot in Wine Not. And it's this really pretty, I think kind of unique color. It's like a purplish, reddish, grayish. It's like the coolest mix of colors. These are really great. I've done a whole video on their smudge pots and swatches and stuff. I can also link below. I really like these. This is the only one I currently have because my old ones were starting to dry out. I really do like this shade a lot. And the way I applied it is I just put it on with my fingertip and then I just took a fluffy brush and blended it kind of into the crease. And of course I've got some other shadows actually from the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette that I worked into my crease. But I love this stuff. It does not budge. It stays on all day. So if you're looking for a really cheap cream shadow that actually works, these are amazing and they have a lot of different beautiful shades. They have one called Brownie Points, which is like a brownish one, and it's really pretty as well. So I have two of their palettes that I've kept over the years. This one's in Nude Rose Gold, and I love this one. It's so pretty. Now, with these shadows, you're not getting like, it's not like the most amazing palette in the entire world. However, are they good? Yes. Do you have to maybe make sure you blend them really well? Yes. So I wouldn't say, like, I'm not going to compare these to an Urban Decay palette and say, yes, they're just as good, and you can say, no, they're not. But they're still really good for the price, and you don't have to spend that much money to get a great end look. It's just that the process of putting them on might be a little different. You might have to work a little harder, but the end result can be just as beautiful as some of the Urban Decay palettes. So this one's in Mad for Matte. This is an amazing matte palette. I would say out of the two, if you don't have any of them, go for the matte one because I think it's a little bit better quality, and it's one of those things that, again, it's so rare to find something like this in the drugstore. And this has such a nice range of warm and cool tones, deeper, lighter colors. The Nude Rose Gold is beautiful, but I feel like the shades are kind of hit or miss. But you can get some nice looks, but a lot of it just kind of blends together, which I don't mind, but I know a lot of people do. I don't mind more. Of course, today I'm wearing more of a like darker look, but on a normal day, I do wear more just light, very simple looks. So something to keep in mind. But they are good. An eye product of theirs that I'm kind of meh about are these cream like shadows. Now, when I first tried them, I really liked them, but upon further investigation of wearing them, you know, for months after that, I kind of realized that they're not bad, but I feel like they're not great. Now, this one I think is better than the other. This one's called Molten Bronzed, and it's this gorgeous bronze color, but I feel like when you start to kind of blend it, it starts to just blend away, and that I don't like. This one, again, is better than this next one. This next one's called Rose Gold, and this is the one I was the most excited about. And it looks beautiful when you first put it on your hand. I mean, these are gorgeous. It's not that they're not beautiful. But again, as you kind of blend them, they start to blend away, and you can start to see the skin underneath. I don't think these are bad, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the Maybelline Color Tattoo ones are really good. Now, in this one's favor, I think the Maybelline Color Tattoo ones like these are gloopy right upon first use, and I don't like that either because then it just kind of looks like you could get a gloop somewhere and then it's way too much. And so I like that these are almost a thinner formula, so it's easier to see where you're applying it and you don't accidentally get too much. But again, like I said, if you're trying to blend it with other things, I think it's not quite right for that. The way I like to wear these is alone. They look amazing alone, especially the Molten Bronzed one. If I just put it on my lid and kind of blend it into the crease and leave it, it looks amazing. So I don't think they're terrible, they're just not my favorite. I love their long-lasting Lustrous eyeshadows. So I have a silver, a gold, and like this maroon one. And the maroon one's my favorite. It's called Soiree. And these are kind of like I've used so much of this. It's like almost gone. There's a mirror right here. I literally just showed it to the mirror. Like anyone was in the mirror looking. I'm going crazy. Anyway, but these are so good. They're like this kind of creamy formula. Almost whipped, if you will. But it's like a cream eyeshadow. They're very similar. But I think these are just more fun to work with because they are like that whipped formula. But this one is so beautiful. You can just wear it on your lids and go, and it looks so gorgeous. The gold one is really nice as well. This one's called Toast. It reminds me of New Year's. In fact, I might wear this on New Year's. And then the silver one, which I don't reach for as much just because I don't love the way silver looks on me, is called Celebration. And it's just this gorgeous, super shimmery silver. This is a great way to get glitter on your eyelids without getting glitter all over your face. Because it's kind of embedded in this whipped formula, the glitter doesn't fall everywhere like it would with a loose glitter or with a glitter eyeshadow. And that's why I think these are amazing. Extra little mention, the e.l.f. Makeup Removing Cleansing Cloths. These are great. These are inexpensive. They remind me of the MAC ones. Their packaging is very, very similar to MAC. These really are good. And they remove makeup. I don't use these to remove makeup. I don't use any makeup removing wipes to remove makeup at the end of the day. But I do like these, you know, if you swatch it on your hand like I do, it removes those. To remove lip color, just, you know, in the middle of the day if you're taking it off. These are great. I have a pack in my classroom as well. I think they're great. Let's talk about lips. Let's talk about what I'm wearing on my lips today. And I'm drinking coffee, so I feel like it's kind of getting everywhere. This is, I love this formula. Their new Velvet Mattes, is that what it's called? But this one's in deep burgundy, and I love it because these are really velvety and matte, but still comfortable. And I just think this color is so gorgeous. It really is like that deep kind of a burgundy without being like just black or just, you know, it's got some actual red tint to it, or like pink tint to it, I should say. I just think it's so pretty. I'm wearing it on my lips today. Now I'm wearing it with a lip liner that is kind of more purple, like pinkish purple. So I feel like that mixture does make it look a little different on my lips. And actually I need to reapply a little more. And I don't think that these are like insanely long lasting. I wouldn't say they like wipe right off in like 30 minutes, but I do feel like when I wear these, I have to reapply them, you know, every so often, especially with a deep color where I don't want it to be super obvious or anything like that. I'm really picky about it, and I'm sure most of us are. I have another one called Vampy Violet. And this one, if you like really, really deep shades, this is like a deep, deep purple, right? They also have one called Blackout that's literally black. So if you're into that or you need it for a costume, whatever, they have that as well. I want to get some of the lighter shades. I haven't tried any, but this formula is a newer formula for them, and it's my favorite of theirs. So that's the lipstick I would recommend. They also have these Touch Of little lip ones, and this one's called Touch of Pink, and it's just a really pretty, I am running out of room to swatch. Let me use one of my cleansing cloths. So I just wiped off the swatches with the thing, and I would say it did a pretty good job. So they have these called Touch of Pink and Touch of Berry. I think they've got a couple others. These are the two I've kept. Touch of Pink is just a really simple everyday pink. Touch of Berry, you can guess it, just a touch of berry. These are a little, I wouldn't call them sheer because they're not, but they aren't like crazy deep pigmented like the velvet ones are. And I like these again for every day. If you just want like a simple everyday color to just slap on your lips, not worry about lip liner or anything like that. These are beautiful. So I really like these. These, I want to put the Touch of Pink one in my purse, so I'll use it. All right, so some lip glosses I really like. This one's just another unique product from e.l.f. that I think you should own. This one's their Pout Perfector in Glow. And it's this like glittery, it's got a brush tip, which is not my favorite. But this is one of those things you could just put on the center of your bottom lip just to make it really glow. It's this glittery pink look to it. And I think that's a great way to get that kind of glossy, trendy look right now without just straight up going full metallic glam, because that's not for me. I just don't love it on myself. But this is kind of a nice in between, and I love it. And this smells so good. It smells like lip smackers to me. I really like it. And this is their High Shine Liquid Lipstick, and it's in the shade Bitten Pink. And again, it's got this really cool doe foot that's got like a scoop in it, so it like collects product into it, so it applies even better to your lips. And I think this color is really cool. It's a really pigmented formula. I was gonna call it thick. It is a little bit thicker than what you'd be used to like just in a lip gloss, which is why they call it a liquid lipstick, but it is high shine, so it doesn't like dry down or anything. I just think it's really pretty and a good formula. It's comfortable to wear, but it really packs that punch. One product that is in my purse all the time is this e.l.f. lip balm, and it's in Nude, and it's kind of like a brown peach kind of a nude. You can see it right there. It's just so easy to just put on my lips. It's got some SPF in it, which I think is great, and it makes my lips look more put together without like having to do anything with it other than just throw this on. This product I can't live without. Now what's funny is in maybe my very first e.l.f. Best and Worst, back when I was living with my parents before I got married a couple years ago, this was one that I didn't like, and I don't know if they redid the formula or maybe I like learned how to use it better. That's probably what it is. But it's their e.l.f. lip exfoliator, and it looks like a lipstick, but it has these like little granules in it that are like exfoliating. But I've kind of learned that, you know, for this to work, you need to have, it has like a waxy balm on the outside, but as you wear it down, it just gets kind of weird. So you have to have like some kind of lip balm on first before you start exfoliating. And then it really does wonders. This has been a saving grace probably once a week, every week. So I love it. This is their like cherry one. They have a mint one. What else? I know they have at least one other one, but I really like the cherry. The mint is good too. One last mention, I mention every time if you don't know about it, it's their makeup remover pen. It's just a little, like almost Q-tip shaped thing that has makeup remover in it. And then, you know, they're a couple bucks. You can replace it every few months. I use it every day to like clean up a winged liner or anything like that. It's amazing. I had to mention it. There are so many e.l.f. products out there. I mean, I feel like I could continue to talk about e.l.f. products forever. But I hope this kind of gave you a feel for if you're new to e.l.f. or maybe if you're just looking for some new stuff, maybe you have a gift card, whatever. I hope this helped you kind of get your feet wet with what they have that's great, what they have that maybe you should avoid, and just to get an idea of the different products they offer. I'm also going to do an e.l.f. skincare video. I think I'm going to film it today actually, about their skincare because they have really inexpensive, fantastic stuff, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it and how I use it. I haven't had breakouts on my skin, other than maybe like hormonal ones every few months, probably in 8 months, I don't know. And I've been using the e.l.f. skincare for the past few months. I love it. So I will get to that. If it's already up, I will link it below. Other than that, I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you'll subscribe. I also hope you'll catch me on my social media, which is right there on the screen, GMBeauty89 on all platforms. I like to Snapchat in the early morning when I'm getting ready before work, and just tell you guys what I'm wearing, what I'm trying out, what my thoughts are on it, things like that. So if you'd like to see kind of an inner glimpse into my regular life, you can check me out there. Other than that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.